Scroll through any social feed and you'll find an endless supply of dogs wearing human clothes, enduring tight hugs, or looking guilty after chewing a shoe. We hit like because we read these moments as adorable affection. But this is a classic case of anthropomorphism. We are taking our own primate logic and projecting it onto an entirely different species, creating a massive language barrier right in our living rooms. Dogs are cursorial animals, meaning they are biologically built to run. They are also polyphasic pack animals that sleep in short bursts, and their sensory hierarchy relies heavily on smell rather than sight. Their brains process the physical world completely differently than ours do. Because we interact with them as little humans, we routinely misread their body language. The very actions we use to show love can actually trigger intense anxiety in a dog. When we force them to communicate on our terms, we subject them to 8 everyday stressors. Take physical affection. As primates, our natural instinct is to wrap our arms around someone we love. But remember, dogs are cursorial. Their primary defense mechanism is flight. When you wrap your arms around a dog's neck, you eliminate their ability to escape. In canine body language, placing a limb over another animal is a display of dominance, not a sign of comfort. We also love eye contact and touching faces. To a dog, a hand coming straight down from above blocks their vision and feels intrusive. And an unbroken stare, something we consider polite attention, is a direct challenge or threat in the canine world. Our most basic, well-meaning gestures of warmth map perfectly onto the warning signals dogs use to assert dominance and initiate conflict. Then there is the daily walk. For humans, a walk is usually about getting from point A to point B to burn some calories. For a dog, it is an information-gathering mission. Dogs experience their environment primarily through scent. Pulling them away from a fire hydrant because they are taking too long deprives them of essential cognitive stimulation. Scent gathering is how they read the news of their neighborhood. We also tend to project our desire for social extroversion onto our pets. When we meet another dog on the street, we pull our dog closer and encourage them to say hi. This removes their ability to choose whether they want to interact, flooding them with anxiety instead of building confidence. By prioritizing our human need for physical efficiency and forced socialization, we strip dogs of their environmental autonomy. Over time, that lack of control builds deep insecurity. We even project human morality onto our pets. Consider the famous guilty dog sitting next to a shredded pillow. Behavioral science confirms that dogs simply do not possess complex secondary emotions like shame or guilt. What you are actually seeing is called appeasement behavior. It is an evolutionary de-escalation tactic. The dog recognizes that their pack leader is angry, and they are using their body language to calm you down. In this image, you can see exactly what avoidance looks like in practice. The brindle dachshund's flattened ears and averted gaze are textbook signs of a dog trying to appease a perceived threat. This is why scolding a dog hours after they made a mess is entirely ineffective. Dogs live strictly in the present moment. They do not connect your shouting with the shoe they chewed hours ago. Punishing a dog long after the fact does not teach them right from wrong. It only teaches them that their owner is prone to sudden, unpredictable aggression. This disconnect extends to how we spend our downtime. When we get completely absorbed in our screens, we miss a dog's subtle bids for connection, like a soft paw on the leg or a quiet stare from across the room. Eventually, they just give up, and that weakens our bond. Because we rely on spoken language, we expect our dogs to loudly announce their boundaries with a bark or a growl. We completely miss the quiet whispers of stress that happen long before that point. Take a look at the yellow lab in this document. Yawning with a tight mouth is a clear indicator of rising stress. If ignored, dogs make themselves smaller. Notice below how the tail is tucked to signal extreme discomfort. When we routinely ignore these quiet, polite requests for space, we leave the dog with no choice. They have to escalate to obvious, dangerous behaviors, like snapping or biting, simply to be heard. We often want a dog to fit seamlessly into our lives, like a furry human roommate. But that expectation ignores the reality of their existence. A confident, relaxed dog isn't created by forcing them to adapt to our physical routines and social habits. Confidence comes from ensuring they feel safe, understood, and in control of their environment. The next time you lean in to interact with your dog, take a second to watch their reaction. If you see a lip lick or flattened ears, the whites of their eyes showing, step back and give them space. True affection isn't about treating your dog like a human child. It is about understanding, respecting, and loving the animal they actually are.